in her belly there because she's swallowed it, right? Uh, this is one that the younger kids would enjoy. And let's see the date on this. This is 1973. So this is vintage, 1973. Sorry, there's a glare on it. But she goes through, there was an old lady that swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Oh, goodness gracious. But the thing is, the kids can poke it through the hole. They can touch the fly, and a little interaction there. There was an old lady who swallowed a spider that wiggled and jiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. And that says why, and now you see the spider with fly. Anyway, the book goes on and on. It's one of those repeat things. Look at the cat. There was an old lady who swallowed a cow. I don't know why she swallowed a cow. She swallowed a cow to catch the dog. Oh, there must be a cat in there too that she swallowed. Anyway, this is a cute little book, and this is also up for $2. It's in great shape. Any interest in this fun little? I'd say this would be maybe more for toddlers. Anybody interested in this cute little? You learned that as a song first? Really? Wow. Okay. Well, it's rhyming. It would make a good song. All right. Who is Holden? Is that one of your boys? Would he be interested in this little book? All right. Has that? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, that has ended. Anybody want me to rerun anything? Just let me know. Let's see. Need to separate the sold books from the unsold. Okay, this one was a Caldecott Award winning book. It's called The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. And I'm not going to read along. Let's see. Well, let me just see if I can find the date on it. Well, suffice to say, it's vintage, but this book is about a snowy day. And the little kid, let's start at the front. He's probably, yeah, he looks out the window, wakes up, and snow was, it said, as far as he could see, everything was covered with snow. So the whole story is about his adventure with the snow and snowballs, and it's making snow angels. Look at that precious little book. Says he pretended to be a mountain climber. He climbed up a great big tall heaping mountain of snow and slid all the way down. This would be a great going to bed story. So, with winter coming up, and if you've got snow where you live, so there he is. It's a happy story, and this one is also up for $2. If I can get it going. All right, there we go. Trying to multitask. I want them all. You want me to rerun the this one? Is that what you want me to do? Rerun that one? Say yes. Okay. Are you placing a bid on this one? Yes, you are, aren't you? Let's see if you win it. Rachel's Lily Works is winning this one. She's still winning. She's still winning. She's still winning. And she's won. I'm just going to throw that one in with it, okay? You got both of them. You got a deal, kiddo. Both of those coming to you. That's number 2 and number 3. And number 3. Number 2 is a gift. Okay. All right. Okay, you're so welcome. All right, the next one is a little bigger book, but it is also $2. Let me go ahead and move it to the stage so I'm ready to hit it and it can run. All right, this is a very famous book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Um, it is just from the Chronicles of Narnia, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with it. It is a very good paperback edition from Scholastic. It is in, like, it's book 2 in the Chronicles. of Narnia, but it's probably one of the most famous because the first movie I think that was done was this particular one, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But the book is itself, as a paperback, is in like new, brand new condition, going for $2. This is a classic that should be in every child's library. It's a good chance to pick up a vintage paperback in very good, like new condition for $2. All right, that's running down. Yes, it is. It's C.S. Lewis is probably for a lot of us is a favorite author. Like everything that he wrote, even his those for adults. Okay, Rachel's picking that one up for $2. But when they did the Chronicles of Narnia, did the whole series and made them into movies, and then they did his friend Tolkien. C.S. Lewis and Tolkien were friends. um, they did his series, The Lord of the Rings. Oh my goodness. I've actually been to the bar in Oxford, England. I went there on purpose to sit in the old booths that were there during the day of C.S. Lewis and Tolkien, and what is it they call that club? The Ink Spots or something like that. And they all taught at Oxford, and they would go and sit in that pub. And I went in there and sat, hoping that a little bit of their writing talent would rub off on me. Okay. I don't know if it. I don't think it has. But anyway, all right. That $2 book is Rachel's. Then that's number 3A. That's coming to you. All right. The next one is another $2 book. Let me pull it up to the stage and then show it to you. This is another paperback. It's a Kingfisher book, paperback, and as you can see, it's also in like new condition. There's a little bleep right there where the page got the pages got bent or clipped or something. I'll straighten that out. But anyway, it's detective stories. And they were all chosen by Philip Pullman. If you're familiar with him, he was famous for and by the way, this book, and you may see some of the others that I'm selling, may have my embossed library seal on the title page because most of these books are coming out of my teaching library. So if you see that, those are my initials. That's my embossed paper thing. All right, the publication on this was printed in Great Britain. Yeah, Pullman was British. And Swanee, I can't see the date right now. It's escaping me. But what I wanted to do was show you the titles, or at least the authors. There's one by Arthur Conan Doyle, Ellery Queen, Agatha Christie, Kastner, Dorothy Sayers, the ones I'm familiar with, Isaac Asimov. Um, these are chapters that are short stories, and Fletcher, Bentley, and Calvino. Anyway, nice. Butch minds the baby. Anyway, they're short stories, and uh, let's see here. For $2, let's start this auction. Um, I would say this is teenage to adult. Nice way to introduce a teenager to some famous detective stories. There's Ellery Queen's Coal Money. All right. Rachel's liking, or have you been on this one? Yeah. Did you, or was that? Yeah. I sometimes I can't tell if the bidding is from the previous book, but you have just you're kindred. Yes, I know we are, Rachel, kindred readers. Okay, this was number 3B. And well, Rachel, your box is getting bigger and bigger. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, the next book is a book that is, hang on just a second. It's two books for $3.25. And these are little golden books, but they were special editions put out by Chick-fil-A, which is quite interesting to me that I don't know if any of y'all, I met Mr. Cathy one time, and he was a really fine fella. And I cannot find when I think these books were like in the 70s. There we go. Of course, the original publishing date was 1947 for this book, but let's see. Okay, it's 2011. There we go. It's not quite vintage. Sorry about that. But two of them for $3.25. The Shy Little Kitten and the Saggy Baggy Elephant. So they are classic little golden books, but they were published by Chick-fil-A. And I think that these are probably going to be collectible as the years go by. You know, that sort of thing is. How many of you have still got the Burger King toy things and the Ronald McDonald toy stuff? That stuff sells pretty good as people collect it. Used to read only Arthur Conan Doyle and Agatha Christie. Yeah. Yeah, my mother was a big mystery reader, and she read those quite a bit. All right, anybody, Xbox, you have these? All right, you need to come on over to Lilyworks Antiques and Collectibles on District. You're on watching on YouTube, and but you need to come into District to be able to actually bid on anything you see. All right, has that ended? That has ended. All right, very good. I've got two more for 325. So this is two for 325. The first one is, and these are just little skinny paperbacks, American Symbols by Judith Bauer Stamper. And American Symbols, where you can imagine the eagle. But this is a great way to teach kids about our flag, our freedom, the American eagle, our country's seals, the White House. We are Americans. So it's a little book for teaching patriotism, and you can see right away, boy, we need more respect for the flag today, aren't we? Look at those kids waving their flags. Oh, it's explaining the historical flags from 13 colonies. It looks like a pretty concise little book on early American patriotic themes. There's the Liberty Bell, the American Eagle, and why it, for instance, is used, by the postal system. There's the president's seal. That's pretty cool, and it's not complicated. It's showing the Oval Office and the White House, and what symbol can you find in the green room? There's the eagle. We are Americans. We need more books like this. All right, that's the first one. And this one is a little book by Eric Michaels called Greeting. And it's greetings from all over the world. So, how they say, how they're. A greeting is friendly. It's what we do to say or show people we're glad to see them. People around the world have their own greetings. Let's learn about some of them. If you visit Hawaii, people may greet you with flowers and the word aloha. Aloha. Aloha means hello, but it's also used to say goodbye. Anyway, I love this. There's France, Japan, India. Can't you just imagine your little 6-year-old running around saying aloha? Okay. All right. Both of these books are 325. They're both in great shape, no damage to them. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Good to see you in here. I'm selling children's books tonight. You got some grandkids. Maybe you'll be interested in some of them. Anybody interested in these two little books? It's got 5, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, running down, counting down. Okay. All right. And remember, I can rerun anything. Just speak up. Okay. This is another twofer. And the first one is a very famous book, Clifford. How many of you've got this in the hardback? Do you know the hardback, the first printing of obviously it's going to be a first edition, but the first printing hardback of this book is worth big money. Well, this is a little skinny paperback. The book is by Norman Bridwell, and this is the Scholastic version. Being a teacher, we were given good deals on Scholastic products, and uh, actually at conferences and stuff, we would sometimes be given these, and I loved it because I really did enjoy reading to my kids in the classroom, but we also studied book illustration. So these books were awesome for teaching about book illustration. So I had art projects based around first they'd write a little story and then they'd have to illustrate it. So this is a famous book, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with Clifford. So that's the first book. The second book that goes with it is just a sweet little book by Margaret Sutherland, but it's illustrated by Sonia Lamute. And I always pay attention to who the illustrators are because sometimes the famous ones can make the book even quite valuable. But this is just Thanksgiving is for giving thanks. Thanksgiving is for giving thanks. Now, this one's got a previous owner that probably was a teacher. Doesn't that look like a teacher's name? Miss Vicky. And it's got a little bend to it, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. But it's about the traditional holiday of Thanksgiving and being thankful. I am thankful for my room. I'd ask my kids, what are you thankful for? I don't have any. I have to share my room with my big brother and my little brother. I said, well, are you thankful for your brothers? No. And keep on until they finally could find something they were thankful for. Anyway, this is just a sweet little book, and even it's got this bin in it, so I'm just including it with Clifford, which is in really good shape. All right. You think somebody's watching me from my Facebook? Uh, yeah, that might be Rosie B. Yeah, I'm running it on my Facebook. Um, I think she's found us. Yeah, there she is. Rosie BS and Deborah are the same person. Y'all should know Rosie BS by now. She's my jewelry and perfume bottle person. And I love her to death, and she's so sweet to show up at my shows. And she's been I'm surprised you're not upset with me. I haven't been at your shows lately. I have not been feeling well. Deborah, thank you. I know you do. Okay, this is ended. I have had COVID. I have been fighting COVID all week, and it really since for the last 2 months. Have y'all heard that? Yeah, Rosie, talk to her, Rachel. Tell her she needs to come over here and sell. Have y'all heard about this? The new China, they call it the new China COVID. That you have it and it's like the flu, and then you get better, and then it comes back, and then you get better, then it comes back. It just hangs around. That's what's been happening to me, and it has slap worn me out. I'll tell you. But anyway, I took a couple of days and slept. You know how they say that you get sick, you're under the weather? Well, for me, I'm under the cover. I'm under the covers. Don't care about the weather. Okay, here we go. Well, Rachel, I mean, Rosie B, you got to find you an iPad. Uh, Although I'd look for a used iPhone. I like to use my iPhone. Okay, I've got another one that is 325. Let me move it to the stage. The first one is another famous book, Madeline. How many of y'all love Madeline? Oh my goodness, stories about Madeline. And this is Madeline and her dog. And there is Madeline. And there's a big old red sticker on that one. This is a Penguin Young Readers, level 2, little skinny paperback. Um, it's in good condition. Let's look at the very last page. Now there is a tub for two. All we need in the bath is you. That's her and her dog. She's washing her dog. You know, there's a nun. There's a nun that keeps showing up in Madeline's story. But this is really cute. Madeline and her dog. I would have loved to have met this author. Great series of books. And look at the illustration. Isn't that sweet? Okay, the second book is the traditional My First Mother Goose book. And this one is illustrated by Aurelius Battaglia. 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 I should know my Italian. Aurelius Battag. Well, now I'm tongue tied. Okay, my first Mother Goose book, and it is in good condition, and it's just all. But the illustrations. The reason why I was trying to say his name is the illustrations are out of this world. They're really well done. There's little Jack Horner. There's Jack and Jill falling down the hill. So for the traditional Mother Goose book and the famous Madeline together, both of these for $3.25. This one's got a few bends in the cover, but it's still very, very readable. So these are all for reading. I don't know that any of these are necessarily collectible. And some of the yellow little golden books I've got are collectible, but these are just readers. Okay, anybody interested in Madeline or Mother Goose? Two very famous characters of childhood reading. Okay, that has ended. Okay, another one for two. Let's see, two for $3.25. Let me find one. The first one is um, Thomas and the Jet Engine. Thomas and the Jet Engine. There's the Engine. Thomas and Friends book. Another very famous illustrator. This is Step into Reading Level 1 for any of you that are interested in using these as readers. Um, Lovely, lovely illustrations. What's that first page say? Thomas likes to go, and Gordon thinks that he is faster. Thomas likes to go fast, but Gordon thinks that he is faster. So there's going to be a jet engine put on the train. Oh, goodness gracious. We already figure out how that's probably going to end. Okay. You think Thomas is going to, yeah, Thomas passes Henry. Whoosh. Hi, Gordon. Vroom. Oh, it's Thomas that gets the jet engine. So, bye, Gordon. Zoom. All right. You can't beat Thomas and the jet and the little engine locomotive Thomas. And then Here Comes the Snow is a level 1 reader by Scholastic, always good, illustrated by Maxie Chambliss. And right away you can see the illustrations are fun. And so this is again another little book about coats on, boots on. It's snowing out, but no snow. But no snow. All right, you have to read it to see how that one ends. Okay, two for $3.25. Two great little readers for $3.25. Anybody interested in these two? Hey, Vintage of Louisiana. Two great books that you read. Do you read to your girls? Yes. You had there was a book I had that you have. All right. I'm sorry I haven't been watching the chat. I've been reading the book. Hey, how are you? Okay, Rachel has jumped in there and got this one. Awesome. That's number 7. That's going to Rachel. Okay. All right. The next little book by itself is $3.25. And the reason why it's not a twofer, it's just for one, is that it is a little golden book, and it's part of the group called the First Little Golden Book, which means a first book of animal sounds. It's a special series that they did that the size they're for toddlers. The book is even smaller than a regular, and y'all know what size a golden book is. You can see how much smaller this one is. So it was made just for toddlers. And the date on this one is 1982. 1982. But sweet little illustrations. Puppy dogs say bow, wow, wow. This is all animal sounds. Kitty cats say meow, meow. This is for a little, 18-month, 2 year old. Ducks say quack when they're just first learning to talk. I have to tell you a story right here. When my little boy was 2 years old, we lived on up on Lake Raven, up in North Georgia, and right on the lake, our porch overhung the lake itself, and he would go out there and stand at the railing, and there was a little flock of white ducks that were in that part of the lake, and they'd swim by occasionally, and he loved to see those little ducks. Oh my goodness. And he'd go quack, 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 and but one day he was saying to me, uh he was asking me, where are the ducks? I said, well, call them. So he's standing at the railing, and he's just learning to talk, and he yelled just as loud as he could out over that lake. Well, he was trying to say duck, duck, duck. His accent was a little off. Oh my goodness! The boaters going by would stop and wave at him, and he's down there pointing, going, saying duck, but he wasn't saying duck. Y'all use your imagination. Oh my gosh, that was all right. Let's start the auction on that story. We tease him about that to this day. The birdies sing tweet, tweet, tweet. The pigs say oink. Lambs say baa. Donkeys say hee haw, hee haw. Horses say neigh. Aren't these beautiful illustrations? Cows say moo. The roosters say cock-a-doodle-doo. Okay, anybody bidding on this sweet little book? The bears say grrr. That was appropriate up in the North Georgia mountains. The mouse says squeak. Oh, yes, it does. And mommy says, I love you. Is that not the sweetest book? Okay, that has ended. If y'all want me to rerun that one, please tell me, because that book is now, and also this book could be collectible the older it gets. All these golden books, and you saw it was in good condition. Okay, one last book for 325, and then we'll put that group away. This is Otis and the Puppy. Let's see if I can get the camera far enough away. Um, this was a New York Times bestseller by Lauren Long. Otis and the Puppy. It looks like Otis is a tractor, and the puppy is a puppy, and there's geese in this story. And the illustrations in this are really something. Let's see. All right, you know what? That's Dolly Parton. Is this one of her books? Did you know that Dolly has recorded a number of wonderful songs for children? Huh. This must have been purchased up there in Dollywood by somebody. Okay, so it's Otis and the Puppy. Otis and the Puppy. Just look at the film. Sorry, this light is glaring. Let's see if I can get it to stop doing that. Look at the feel, the tone to the illustrations. Interesting. It's almost monochromatic with that red accent. Look at that. But they're unusual illustrations. Said he found a bull hiding in the haystack. Otis and the animals would play until the sun disappeared behind the trees, making sure to be home before darkness fell. Oh, look at 'em all lining up to go inside the barn. Says one evening, the farmer gathered everybody up front. Y'all look at the picture while I read it. And in front of the barn and gently placed a burlap sack on the ground. You see it right there? The sack began to wobble and tumble and roll. It sat up, stretched to the sky, and said, "Arr, arr, arr, what could be in there?" And then out popped a little head. What is it? Y'all gonna have to buy the book to find out what it is. Okay, starting the auction on this book, Otis and the Puppy. Otis and the Puppy. I think if you signed up for your baby to have a book every month until that child's 18, they were sent to book for free. Oh, really? I didn't know about that program. Huh. Well, like I said, I got this through my school. Wow. Well, good for Dolly Parton. She was encouraging reading. And we do need to encourage our kids to read. We do, we do, we do. It's one of the best things that ever happened to me was first grade, sitting down reading see Dick and Sally run. Run Dick, run Sally. Oh, those were blessed days. Okay, this is ended. All right. We're not gonna find how much you want to bet it's that puppy was in that sack. I bet that's what was in that sack. All right, we have another book by that is for 325. I'm on a roll with these 325 books. This book was a winner of the Georgia Children's Book Award in 2022. It is called True North. It's a novel of the Underground Railroad by Catherine Lasky. So this book, it's got a reading level of 5.2. So fifth grade, fifth grader. So if you've got somebody that age, that I'm sure this is a great part of our history, that Underground Railroad. So I'm going to run this as a hardback. It's in good condition. It is an ex-library book, but I would imagine those stickers could be pulled off. However, that's that's in there. So I'm just noting that they stamp. Librarians stamp stuff everywhere. 2002. It must be 2002. Well, first printing was in 1996, but it didn't. And there's a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King. Wow. Okay. True North. Stamped it on the back. Why do libraries do that? Why do they feel like they have to stamp every single thing? And that is why, as a collector, um, we try to avoid library books. So this is just again, a good reader in your library for your kids to actually read. I'm not selling necessarily collectible books here tonight. I got one last little book at 325, and this is out of my personal library that was books I read with my children. This is a reader level two. I read about God's care. So it is a book that level two reader children could read. Let me just find the beautiful illustrations. So you can see the text there. All right. Joseph knocked at the door. Mary stood beside him. Door opened a bit. No room, said the innkeeper. So these are stories from out of the Bible, and at a certain reading level. But the chapters are perfect for, time to go to bed, read a story sort of thing. Sweet little book, sweet illustrations, and it's dated Standard Publishing. Standard Publishing. Well, I can't find the date on it, but my daughter was born in 79, and I would have bought this when she was probably 3 or 4. So, all right, start the auction. It's in really good shape. It's a hardback, excellent shape. I don't even think I stamped this one. I didn't. It's not stamped, so it's completely free of any marks. It's in good shape. You remember your Dick and Jane books? Yeah, Dick and Jane. Where does Sally? Was Sally a character in that too? I need you to tutor Annalise with reading. Oh, I wish I could. I wish I was there, Rachel. I did enjoy doing that. All I wanted to do was turn them on to reading. I wasn't teaching how to read. The sixth graders just that they gave me as a class, uh, that I, I just wanted to get them turned on to reading. So we did everything that I could think of that got them excited about books. Yeah. And then they get excited about reading, and they'll learn to read on their own. They'll do what they have to do to read on their own. Okay, that has ended. All right. All right. The next book is similar, but I'm going up a bit on the price. Oh, what the heck? Let's stay with 325. I had it marked at 5, but I'm going to put it back at 325. It's a bigger hardback, but it's a similar book, Little Visits with God. This is a nighttime story book. You can see it's for adults to read, but the chapters are broken up, and it's all. I liked it because to spend that nighttime. I mean, read fairy tales and stuff too, but to read a chapter about the peacemakers. What does it mean to be a peacemaker? And when my child was like in third and fourth grade, and stuff and happening out in the during recess, and learning to be a peacemaker was important. Telling the truth can be wrong. All right, speak evil of no one. Telling the truth can be wrong. Um, I need to read that. Mr. Jones was a mean man. He always said what he thought, and he told what he knew, even if it hurt other people. He said, if I think it, I may as well say it. I say what I think, and if it's true, why shouldn't I? Was he right? Hmm. Well, this author says no, he was very wrong. A new family moved to his town. The man had been in jail, but he was sorry for what he'd done. He tried to get a job, but Mr. Jones told people that man just came from jail. Well, he was telling the truth, yeah. So nobody wanted the man. Mr. Jones kept the man from getting a job. It isn't only wrong to tell lies, sometimes it's wrong to tell the truth. That's an interesting way to put that. I would simply say there's sometimes you just need to keep your mouth shut and don't, and don't spread gossip. All right, nobody. I haven't started the auction on that book. That got my juices going. Little Visits with God. How many of you know that sometimes you need to uh, what's the word? Expound on what you're reading to kids. I remember reading fairy tales to my kids and having to expound on some of the morals of the story and that sort of thing. That's what parents do, right? That's what parents do. Hey, Bedazzled. Hey, Justine. We're reading to each other. Okay, that has gone. Okay, the next one is bumped up to the $5 range. Y'all don't let me go past my time. I got about 15 more minutes. This is a little series that I've got several. I'm going to show real quickly. They're diaries. It's this one is it's Dear America, but they're stories that are uh, biographical and autobiographical. And this one is the girl who chased away Sar. She's a Navajo Indian who lived in New Mexico in 1864. The Diary of Sarah Nita, a Navajo girl. And they're beautifully bound. It's got her little picture right there. It's got a little thing that you can keep up with where you're reading. It's also published by Scholastics. And it does have my library embossed stamp in it. Sorry about that. But this is a sweet little story about a Navajo girl from her life, her perspective in 1864. So a good again, this is a good book to have in a preteen. I'd say a preteen to a early teenager library to read something good and wholesome instead of some of the. Whew, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with what the young readers, the teenagers. A lot of it is scary stuff. Anyway, it's nice to offer something of a balance in your children and grandchildren's libraries. I read most of these in the fourth to sixth grade. Awesome. They are a good, I've got three of them. I'm going to show them real quickly. All right, that one has ended. Here's the other one. Here's the next one, rather. This one is The Great Railroad Race. The Diary of Libby West, who lived in the Utah Territory in 1868. Isn't that sweet? There's the binding. Y'all, these are like brand new. They're like brand new, but they're not. Uh, Flip and Des just said she read all of these when she was younger, but then she's just a little spring chicken anyway. So let's see if there's a date. I was going to say I'm not sure how vintage these are. Let's see, find a date. I'm not selling them as collectibles, so I'm not concentrating on the dates. And lo and behold, there's not a date on these. You know, Scholastic books are bad to not put dates on stuff. But anyway, there's that one. Has that one ended? The Titanic one was the first one. Oh, the Titanic. That's interesting. Okay. Never heard of this series? Well, Aaron, get you one of these and read up on it. Okay. This is, whoops. Okay, this is the last one. A Line in the Sand. This is the Alamo Diary of Lucinda Lawrence from Gonzales, Texas, 1836. Wow. And it's got one of the little ribbon place marks too. Another book in great condition that has started. These were three books that would really grace any preteen to teenagers library. I'd say early teens, like 13 maybe. Okay. All right, Rachel, you're bidding on this one. A land in this. This is about the Alamo. That ought to be an interesting read. Okay, you have won that one. Great. That is number 14B. All right, great, Rachel. Thank you. Okay, the next book at that same price range. Let me get it to stage. Is from the Companion Library, and this is Treasure Island. and everybody knows that that's by Robert Louis Stevenson. But this is a classic, and copyright on this is by Gossett and Dunlap. These are that's a publishing house that's famous for reprinting. It was 1963 is the illustration copyright, and let's see if we can see some of the illustrations. Little boys like to, well, I liked the book. I was a little girl, but I liked the book of Treasure Island. Who didn't? Of course, you read it today and you expect Johnny Depp to jump out at you. You're looking for Johnny Depp. Where's Johnny Depp? Captain, what was his name? Captain, I can't remember. Okay, let's run this one. Buddy interested in a nice hardback, like new, very good condition. Sparrow, Captain Sparrow. There you go. Thank you. That would have bugged me all night long. Captain Sparrow. He was good in that movie, wasn't he? Oh my goodness. Classic role. Classic. He's had a hard time living it down. Okay. All right. There's that. All right. The next one is another $5 book. And it's the famous Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. But this is illustrated by Michelle Wiggins. And you can see right away the dust jacket illustration is absolutely, oh my gosh, look at that illustration. And again, we're probably expecting to see Johnny Depp, aren't we? For that movie he did. And look at the Cheshire Cat. Now, this dust jacket has got a boo-boo up here at the top, but the text, the binding of the book is itself is in good shape. It's still got its price tag. Originally, it was $16.95. But look at the end papers. Even the end papers are spectacular. This is Alice in Wonderland, but it's the illustrations that I like. I would sit and read a chapter of this to my young'uns and spend time just, what do you see? What do you see? Have them point out stuff in these illustrations. Just absolutely spectacular. Look at this one. The illustrations are, and and some clever somebody, when this book gets really old, they'll cut these illustrations out and mat and frame them. I, I even hate to say that about a book, but people do that. Okay, this is up and running. Nice illustrated copy of Alice in Wonderland. Anybody interested in this? Look at that. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at that. Look at the queen back there, the Queen of Hearts. Who did we say this was illustrated by? Michelle Wiggins. I wonder if she's done anything else. I'd like to collect books just by her. Okay, all right. You have won this. Yay, that's number 15 going to Miss Desiree. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate that. All right, the next books, I've got two of them, and they're 2 for $5. And the more I look at it, think I'm going to see if I can find another 3.25, $3.25. The more I look at this book that's on top, because it's a hardback, y'all, and it's a child's book of character building. And if it wasn't for the fact that the book is so good, I would probably, most folks, I guess, be tempted to throw it away. We used to have a rabbit. I kid you not, a rabbit that my daughter would bring it sneak into the house, and that thing would it sneak around and find a hiding place. I wouldn't know it was in the house. And at night, it would come out and nibble on the strangest stuff. So this is Thumper's doing. It's all that rabbit's fault. This was a favorite book that I used at nighttime reading, because of what it taught. It's all about character, and it's still very. Looking at the titles there, very appropriate, very appropriate. Let's look at another one. Self control. Self control. When doing something, even when I don't feel like doing something, even when I don't feel like doing it. And it's got, some biblical connections. Self control in the Bible first, then self control at home. Self control at home. Thelma was busy helping her parents weed the garden when she yelled, "Help, help, a bee is flying around me." "Don't move," answered the father. "It won't hurt you if you sit very still." And soon the bee left. Slowly, Thelma moved from plant to plant. Whenever she saw a bee, she jumped up and ran to the end of the garden. And her parents noticed that she was not using self control. So her father called her to his side. "Thelma, you aren't remembering that I told you to be still when you see a bee." "I know, Father, and I'm sorry. It's because I'm afraid of bees." And Father replied, "Even though the bees are nearby, you must not run. They won't bother you." So you can see how this is teaching self control. And so, even though this book is rabbit eaten, it's worth $3.25 just to have the lessons. And I'm throwing in another little book that is in, well, darn if the rabbit didn't nibble there and there. These books were in my daughter's room. My book of special days. It's just another sweet little book based around Bible stories. And some of you might appreciate this with your kids and grandkids. So I'm going to run those real quickly because my time is about up. Anybody, I'm telling you that the contents of this book, there's a chapter on orderliness, forgiving, forgiveness in the Bible, forgiveness at play, what it means to be fair, treating others equally. This was a Oh, this book stayed beside my daughter's bed. Every night I would read a chapter out of this, and we'd lay there and talk about it. Yeah, Rachel, this is a good book, even though it's in sad shape. Just remember Thumper the rabbit got to it. Oh, I had to use self control. I won't tell you what I wished I could have done to that rabbit. Okay. All right. Who did Rachel win that? Okay, Rachel won that, and that is number 12. And it's time for me in just a second to go to the next um, person. I hope that y'all stick around tonight for the rest of the shows. I'm not sure if there's one or two more after me, but and then all day tomorrow, all the good jewelry. So thank you everybody for coming tonight, and I am feeling energized. I did take a hot shower right before the show, tried to get myself up and ready and to where I could talk. And thank the Lord, I have not coughed once, have I? Thank you, Kathy. I will sleep well. I have not coughed once. All right. I will see all of y'all the next time that I am live, and it looks like Rachel is following me. Well, let's go to her. Bye. Bye.